Ka toa rehua, ka ramaia puanga, ka rere a whānui, ka puta ko matariki. Ko ngā tohu o te tauhou Māori ko ngā whetū e rua kairiaki ki runga rā ko te mātahi o te tau. Ngā mate o te wā, hara mai, haere. Tātou kei te ao marama, ti hewa Māori ora ki a tātou katoa, nau hoki mai. Ki te hui e tūnei, ki tā maki makaurau, ko ki te rākutau. Kei tako parawhau mātou, kei koia ngā ti whātua o rākei. Te whakakainga mai nei i te motu, i te wā e whakahaere ti ai. Te hautapu nui, te hautapu whakamānawa i a matariki, arā ko te hautapu o te motu. Ko ngā ti whātua tērā, ka whakakainga mai i te tini tangata. Ka iapi katoa tēnei wāhi i te iwi Māori, i te motu whānui, ka whakamānawa i a matariki. Kei koi au, i ai nei. Ko tetei o ngā hiru hāpai o ngā ti whātua o rākei, arā ko Precious Clark. Tāku e kōrero ake nei. Te tuene tēnā koe.
Kia ora, Jules.
Nau mai. Tēnā koe whai wahi mai koe kia mātou. E pēhana o whakaaro i tēnei wā. I te wā e tata atu ana ki te whakaheke mai a te motu. Ki te hautapu nui. Ka tūki konei.
Kei te hikaka mātou ngā ti whātua rākei kia tai mai te maria ki tēnei whenua o takaparawhai. Ai, miharo.
Ka mutu he pēhe ngā whakaritenga.
Ai, kei te haere ngā whakaritenga. Kāre he mahi māma noi ho. He mahi uaua, he nui toko maha ngā tangata ka tai mai, nō reira tino kaha mātou ki te whakarite, ki te manaki i ngā tangata ka tai mai.
Ki o whakaaro, heha e tai hua nui, ka puta mo ngā ti whātua o rākei. I enei mahi ka whakaharetia ki konei.
He kaupapa whakahirahira tēnei ki te motu katoa, no mātua ngā ti whātua te maringi nui ki te whakatū tēnei hautapu āmotu ki takaparawhau. Ka hoki aku mahara ki Uncle Joe Hawke. I te wā te porotehi, he whenua kōmititanga a takaparawhau mo te hunga porotehi. I nāia nei, he whenua kōmititanga mo te maria ka hiahia kia whakanui, kia whakamānawa i a matariki, kia whakamānawa i te mātauranga Māori hoki. He wā kia maumahara ki a rātou kua whetūrangitia. Toko maha ngā tani whao te ao Māori, kua hinga maina i tēnei tau. Ko taku kaihana Sharon Hawke tērā, ko tā Tipene Reedy tērā, ko tā Hirini Moko Mead, ko Professor Whatarangi Winiata tērā, nō reira ka poroporo aki ki a rātou. Engari he aronga ki te anamata hoki. He wā pai ki te tuku ngā wawata mo te tauhau. Nō reira, ko taku aronga kia piki taku oranga mo te tau e whai mai nei. Pehea koe, Jules?
Me noho tawutunu aku manoko mo te tau hara mai nei, kei he, kei whati. Ka mutu e rongo anau te haruru o ngā motoka, he hikaka rawa tērā, he tohu hikaka mo te hui nui a hara mai ana. He kura hou, ko te kura tērā kātū ki kone ara, ko te kura o Ngāti Whātua ki tāmaki. What does that mean to you, to have te kura o Ngāti Whātua ki tāmaki kātū ki kone?
He roa nei, ka moimoia mō tēnei kaupapa. Ai he mea miharo kia mātou. Kia mātou, he pai tēnei ki te whakatō te hiru hāpai ki roto i ngā uri o Tupiriri, kia tū pakari, kia tū maia ki roto i tēnei ao hurihuri, ka ako rātou i te ao Māori me te ao Pākehā. Kei te hikaka mātou, kua tau mai te tumuaki hau, ko Ripeka Murray no tauranga Moana, me ōna pukenga nui ki roto i te kura. I guess to us this is a part of our growing our future leaders and a part of our succession planning. And we're really excited. We're growing our future generation to be capable and connected to our taiao, our marae, our hapori, and be responsible to those things as well. And sitting alongside that will be, developing skills, knowledge, leadership capabilities. And I think one thing worth mentioning is we have, as Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei, we've established and maintained good relationships with the businesses here in Tāmaki, and that's our ngahere. So any kura is looking at how it draws on their environment, and the city is our ngahere, and through those relationships we're able to expose our tauira to opportunities. We're able to expose them to real life problem solving, to develop them, so kia tū pakari ki roto I tēnei ao hurihuri. No. And it's not just for our uri either. With Tāmaki having the largest Māori population, it's open to uri who are not from Ngāti Whātua too, with the intent of growing them as strong people as well.
We've seen the success of Ngāti Whātua in Tāmaki, not just in terms of its commercial success, but also the footprint in town, in the middle of the city. Is that a real success marker, do you think, the retention of the identity and culture of Ngāti Whātua back onto the land, not just the commercial success that we've seen from Ngāti Whātua?
Absolutely, and it's not just about putting Ngāti Whātua design on buildings, it's about embedding our Ngāti Whātuatanga on our ancestral lands, which is where Auckland City sits. So yeah, really exciting. We just recently launched the Tūhono Light Trail, and 4 of our rangatahi got to exhibit their artworks as part of that initiative. And kei te poho kāwau mātou katoa i a rātou ngā rangatira ngā āpōpōtanga.
I want to talk about post-settlement issues. These are ongoing issues. They're issues actually that unfortunately come by dictate of the Crown and the process that the Crown undertakes. But how would you describe the state of post-settlement entities and post-settlement iwi governance and the issues that iwi continue to deal with now when we talk about places like Ngāti Whātua in the middle of Tāmaki Makaurau? How would you describe that situation?
That is actually $1 million question, Jules.
Yeah, I know.
And as you mentioned, it is a byproduct of systems that have been imposed on us. I guess for us, when we're thinking about overlapping claims here in Tāmaki, we are the ahika of Auckland City, of Auckland CBD. But we take a principled approach across the lands, Te Kahutōpuni or Tupiriri. We only engage in matters across our lands. We don't engage in matters outside of that through the likes of resource consenting processes. And through that, we're hoping to role model what good tangata whenua look like. And we respect the ahikara of our neighbours, and we ask that they respect ours as well.
I sense there is a growing respect. Is that right, or are we still on the pathway, do you think, of the understanding and the mutual understanding of respect between each other? And is that, do you think, a journey that the Crown needs to take a much greater leap on in the journey it is undertaking at the moment?
Well, without a doubt, you know, we took a legal case that had us go to the Supreme Court and back to the High Court, and the judgment there acknowledged that we are the tangata whenua in Tāmaki Makaurau in accordance with our tikanga, and our tikanga respects ahika. So without a doubt, the Crown is expected to respect our tikanga and the concept of ahika when making decisions about land transfer.
E mihi ana, te tueni e ni korero, he pātai whakamutu. E te tino anau ki te horanga o te whenua. Ki te marae, ki ngā tāngata. Ka nui a roto. Ne? I te mea manako hiana tēnei ara. E tahi atu iwi o te mutu. He pēho whakaro ki tērā. Ko noho mai, Ngāti Whātua hei whakatawiratanga ki te ao Māori e nei rā nei.
Ko te tumanako ai. No mātou tēnei whenua, he whenua tāuri kura kia mātou. Ka noho mātou i konei, mo ake.
Precious ka, tēnā koe. Tēnā koe i whai wahi mai koe ki a mātou. Tēnā koe e tuku mai nei a mātou ki a mahi a mātou mai ki konei, i tēnei rā nei. Ka nui te mea.
Nau mai.
Kia ora mai rā. Precious ka tērā, e huru hāpai o Ngāti Whātua. E te iwi ke ita tunu mai. Ko tētai o ngā kai hāpai, ngā mahi a te kahui kahika tērā te haere mai nei, me te whakakōrero i ngā whakaritenga, o ngā karakia whakamānawa, i a matariki tērā te hara mai nei. E te iwi, ke mau tunu mai rā. Nau mai anō e te iwi ki tā tātou hui e tū nei ki Tāmaki Makaurau. Arā ki tēnei papatapu ki takaparawhau. Ko te wāhi e whakahaere tia i te karakia o te hautapu whakanui a matariki. Ko te hautapu nui o te motu. Ka pōi mai ki tēnei whenua ki te whakamānawa i te mātahi o te tau. He mahi nui te kākawai ki ngā mahi. E pāna ki te hautapu nei. Me ngā karakia a te kāhui kahika. Mā hea mai, i tō tātou kai kōrero e tata mai nei kia au i tēnei wā kōrero māna anō. Te tahi wāhanga o te waka o ngā karakia e whakaue i tā rā nui e kainamu mai nei. Ko Robbie Paora tāku e kōrero ake ana. E kara Robbie tēnā koe, nau mai.
Tēnā koe taku rangatira.
Nau mai rā. Me taku mōhio heo te tahi hāwhe he hokianga, nō reira ka pai pa whaipiringa anō tāu i tēnā kōrero. Ka ri te rā nui nei. Hea e pēhea ni te ahorango ngā mahi kōti a koutou, e pai ai tā koutou haka tika whakarite i a koutou mo te hautapu nui te hara mai nei.
Ai, hoi no tā mātou, he mahi e ngā mahi ko mahi e kete i roto i ngā tau. Ko te hautapu tua ono tēnei kua tūkirunga i ngā whenua nei. Nā, i ia tau, ka kitea ngā akoranga, he whakakoikoi te mahi. Nō reira, ko tahi te rerekētanga nui i te tau nei, ko te whakapāhotanga ki te motu, ko te tāinga mai hoki o te tini me te mano. Engari, tēnei whenua, kua kite nui te mahi a te tangata i roto i ngā tau. Hoki ana ki te wā o te porotehi, taunua mai ki te rānei, te hia mano e whakaeke mai nei ki runga i ene whenua, erite ana.
Kua whai wāhi mai e tahi wera kōrero, e pāna ki ngā mahi a ngā mātua i mua. I whakahua tia ake, e precious ko te kaumātua ne ko Joe. E whai wāhanga ana, e rā whakamaharatanga, e rā kōrero, e rā mahi, e rā tūneke neke hanga. Ki roto i ngā karakia me ngā mahi e kōrero hea ake.
Tika ana ki a pēra, i te mea ko konei i rāwatahi, ko te kuiene ko Rini e tanumi ana, nō reira, horekau e tika ana kia kore ngā maharatanga e hoki, kia rāwa o tira, kia rātou me ngā mahi, i mahi ara e tērā reanga.
He pēhea nei te roa tāku te whakaritari te iaku te...
Kia pono te kōrero, kia kainamu ke, ki te kaupapa nei, ka tīmata ki te mahi i ngā mahi.
Ka whai. He mea kua taunga noa atu ko te wike nei tū whai mahi.
Harei te mea whakaiti ana i te kaupapa, engari, he nui ngā kaupapa kā tū ki runga o tāmaki, ko tā mātou he mahi i rā mahi. Nō reira no te tatanga ki te kaupapa nei, ka whakaimingia mai, te kāhui kai karakia, te kāhui kai karanga, ki te mahi i ngā mahi, ki te whakarite i a rātou anō, kia rangatira te kaupapa i a rātou, kia tino eke, kuia tēnei ko te mahi.
I taku mahara i te rātou, te tini o te tangata i tāi mai, e hoa i pō he au he hui Māori tēnei. Engari kā kitea te tini tangata, e hoa he hui ngā hainamana, he hui ngā hapani, he hui ngā Uropi, he hui ngā Hitereiria. He pēhe ne o whakaaro ki te rātou whai au.
Mea ana te kōrero tāmaki here ngā waka, tāmaki here ngā tāngata. E hara i te mea he kōrero no mai anō tēnei kōrero. No te tainga ke mai o te Pākehā. Nā, i enei rā, ko te tini waka e rangona nei, e kitea nei, ki runga o tāmaki. Horekau ngā kuaha e kapi ki a rātou katoa, engari e tuwhera ke ana. Ki te katoa, aha kua nōhea, aha kua kōwai, matariki here ngā waka, mo te katoa, kuia tēnei ko te whakaaro.
Me taku mahara i tā mai tetahi o ngā taura o ngā ihura ne o te waka o mātātua e kōrero nau mo ahorangi mātāmua. I tā mai ia ki tetahi hui i tūki kona i roto i ngā rā, i roto i ngā wiki tata kua pahure. Hea ngā kōrero i o te ake, i koi aku tau, me te tohunga nei, me te rua nuku nei haragi.
I te mea e āhua tauhau tonu ana tōku iwi ki ngā kōrero hohonu mō matariki, ko tāna he toro mai ki te kōrero i era kōrero kia tino mārama pūaho mātou a Ngāti Whātua ki ngā kōrero, ki ngā kōiriiri mo te kāhui whetū nei. Aotira, e hara i te mea ko matariki nahe i kōrero hia, ko te wāhanga ki te marama, me ona tohu, ko te wāhanga kia tamanui te rā, me te ata tuia o enei mea katoa, te wāhanga ki te tai ao, kui enei ko etahi o ngā kōrero i puta i aia. Engari he rite tonu tana toro mai, i roto i ngā marama tata nei, kia patu atu ki aia, māmano ho tana whakautu, ka tā mai ki te noho tahi, ki te kōrero, ki te wānanga, no mātou te whiwhinui.
Ka pai, ka mutu i taku mahara i te wāhi whakahaere tia i enei momo taku ne tanga o te hautapu ki konei ki taka parawhau. E hara i te mea ko Ngāti Whātua nahe tērā ki roto i te kāhui karakia nei. Kua toro atu te ringa ki o koutou hoa, ki o koutou torotonga, i roto i te whare ōpuhi, i roto i te hiku ki te tai tokerau. Ka pērā anō i tēnei tau, mehe pērā puana, nā te ahi pērā ai.
I te mea ko te ingoa tō mātou kāhui, ko te matatu ahu, ko te kura tai aho kapea, tō mātou ruanuku, tō mātou tohunga. E ai ki a mātou, e noho tahi ana mātou o Ngāti Whātua, ngā puhi, me muri whenua ki raro i tētahi momo tāhuhu, e āhua rite ana ngā whakaaro, te wāhanga kia whakatau pōtiki, kuia tēnei ko te tupuna o te whare makatea nei. Noreira, ko tētahi hauro o te kāhui nei, he ngā puhi he muri whenua, ko tētahi atu hawhe, ko mātou ko Ngāti Whātua, me ngā mana o roto, ko ngā hapu o roto. Nō reira, i tēnei horopaki, horekau, hara i te mea he wehetanga. Ko tā te kaikara ki a mahi, he tuku i ngā wawata o te iwi, ki te kaupapa. Nō reira, ka piri mai etahi o rātou, ki te kāhui kai karakia nei, ki te mahi i ngā mahi tuku iho.
Kore ka hore kua rongo koe ngā mihi a te motu kia Ngāti Whātua. Moana i whakapakari ake ia anō. Ā reo nei, ā tikanga nei, ā Hūrea nei, ā mahi rua nuku nei e rā tūwhai āhuaranga katoa. I ngā wā e pērā i te maringi o te kupu whakamihi atu ki a koutou, ka pēi hou whakao.
E pātai pai tēnā. Ka whakamāi ona wā.
Me?
I te mea, e mohi ona, kua whanake tōku iwi. Engari, he mōhio hoki, he nui tonu te mahi kei mua i te oro. Nō reira, he whakaiti, he noho whakaiti, hakoa pia te pōhehe, e hoi ana, a Ngāti Whātua, he mea nui kia noho whakaiti tonu, te noho tūturu hoki ki runga i o mātou ake whenua.
Hea ngā mahi e kōrero nā koe, ngā mahi e tika ke ake ana, kia tākina, kia kawe ake puritia, kia mahi anō hoki e Ngāti Whātua, hea rā mahi e kōrero.
Ko ngā mahi o ia rā, ko te manaki i te tini me te miriona ki runga i ēnei whenua, te tini kaupapa e karangahia nei mātou. Engari, i taua wātonu ko ngā mahi o te kāinga, ko ngā tangihana, ko ngā kaupapa reo, ko te kura, ko wā tātou tamariki, kia tino eke, ngā mahi katoa, ngā mahi o te kāinga tonu, me ngā mahi manaki i te tini manuhiri ki runga i ēnei whenua.
Robi, tēnā koe manaki mai nei a mātou. E whai wai hei mātou kia koe, ki ngā whakaritenga e kōrero hi ake nei, me taku mō hiohio. E kore ka hore ka tino mihi anō, i Ngāti Whātua, i ngā mai ka whakaharetia ki te hautapu nui e kainui mai. Nō re, Robi, tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe.
E ora mai nā, ko Robi, pāora tērā, tētai i hāpai ana i ngā mahi a te kahui kahika. Rā ki te hautapu nui a te mutu, ka pae mai. Ki taka parawhau, tai hoa ake nei. E te iwi kia mau tonu mai. He waiata te haere ake nei, me te korokoro o tuhi, kai waiata rongonui. Tērā haere ake ana i tā tātou hui, tai hoa ake nei. Nau hoki mai anō, e te iwi ki tā tātou hui, i tā kākarauritanga o te neira, i te waiata mai ana te pō ki tā tātou hui, ki taka parawhau, ia neina. Also, Aotearoa gears up to celebrate Te Mātahi o Te Tau, the Māori New Year. Tāmaki Makaurau will be serving up a celebration. It's not just the hautapu that will happen here on July the 10th, but on the night of the 10th, there's a massive concert happening in Tāmaki Makaurau itself. It's called Ngā Reo o Te Rangi, the voices of the stars, and includes some of our most famous kaiwaiata, including Stan Walker, Maisi Rika, Troy Kingi, and even a bit of kapahaka from Te Rōpū Manutaki. Our reporter Rani Pereira caught up with musician Troy Kingi to talk about how matariki and music collaborate and celebrate, as well as sit side by side, grounded in memory, loss, and new beginnings.
Music and the Māori New Year come together in a time of reflection and remembrance.
We sat beneath the stars, and now it's much too late.
But singer-storyteller Troy Kingi is still learning about what our newest national holiday is all about.
It's much too late.
Matariki is still very fresh to me. It's something I'd heard about for years, and now we actually get to, celebrate.
Do you find inspiration in matariki this time of year?
It's definitely a great time for reflection, and maybe through that reflection you get inspired by things you're like, oh, I hadn't actually thought about that. Me and my kids and my wife, we've made it a conscious thing to start putting out names of people that have passed away on matariki and any stories we have about them. We've had a few just in the last 6 months, so we're always going to have stories and there's always going to be people to talk about.
You know, back when you were a kid, what was your understanding of matariki?
We thought there were 7 sisters. We find out that there's actually 9 stars in the matariki. That was kind of the extent of it.
Hei tā te kōkau, he whakarāpapototanga te ingoa o matariki, I te kōrero, ngā mata o te ariki, tāwhiri mātea.
But yeah, Rangi Mata done a great job bringing it to the forefront. But my kids have to study it at school and stuff now, so they probably know way more than me these days.
Troy can't believe he's made a career from playing music.
I keep telling everyone I haven't had a job since 2012. I never think of my life as busy. I feel like it's blessed to be able to do the stuff that I do. I was a dive instructor for 6 years up in the Bell Islands. The whole time I was a closeted songwriter that no one knew about. And that's always been my passion, is actually creating songs. If I could just do that and get paid for that, I'd be happy with that.
And since 2016, he's had to crank out an astonishing number of songs.
Why you gotta talk about memories?
As part of his ambitious creative project, producing 10 albums across 10 genres in 10 years.
Are you almost finished?
Well, we're supposed to already be finished. Our year's actually already lapsed.
Right.
So
Right.
we need to finish this last one. So I'm currently trying to finish writing this last one, and in August we head over to Abbey Road to record this last one. And it'll be quite a quick turnaround to get it out by the end of the year, but I don't want it to be the 10-10-11 project, so we just got to do it. We got to do what we got to do.
The renowned Abbey Road Studios in London was made famous by the Beatles, who recorded most of their albums there.
How the heck does a former dive instructor from the Bay of Islands end up recording an album at Abbey Road? It's amazing.
After pat my mate Matt Smith on the back for that one, similar to us going over to the desert a couple of years ago, that was his doing. You know, I have these crazy ideas or, you know, things that I never think are gonna happen, and then this guy's like, guess what? We're gonna do this. I'm like, oh, really? But yeah, Abbey Road, you know, it's one of those iconic places. I've never been to the UK, so really looking forward to it, but really hoping that I can do this last one justice as well.
And do you think you're going for that massive impact being the final album?
I am. It's a big orchestral album, so we are going for the big sound. The problem has been this. so that's also adding to the stress, but hey, that's life. We try to figure it out.
I think I actually said before this interview, I'm picking orchestral.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a classy way to go out. You know, maybe wear a suit on stage with an orchestra when we're touring this and walking around with a glass of scotch. I don't know.
Who got ties to the Most High? Right from the original Ethiopia.
What's your favourite album to date?
I was driving from Wellington to the Bay of Islands, which is close to an 11-hour drive, and I'd listened to all of my albums, and it was the album number 6, my 80s synth pop one, that made me smile. And I was just like, I'd never really listened to that album. And I was like, this is actually pretty dang good. I did that.
Do you ever have moments where you just thought, what was I thinking?
All the time. All the time. And we'll finish an album cycle, we'll bring something out, and everyone wants to celebrate, and I'm like, I can't. I'm thinking about the next one. So you never really turn it off. And yeah, I know it's something I won't be able to do until it's all done. I can actually sit back and reflect on, oh, that's pretty cool.
Everything before just disappeared.
Among the loved ones in Troy's thoughts, this matariki will be his father. He disappeared without a trace while driving from Auckland to Rotorua in Christmas 2005.
It's hard to mourn someone who went missing.
Oh, exactly. List of
21 years ago, is it?
Yeah, 20, yeah, it has been 21. And, you know, pretty much all my kids never got to see their koro. But, yeah, if someone passes away, at least you got somewhere you can go and physically grieve. When it's up in the air, it's just like, yeah, what do I do here? Just keep going.
Find yourself a love.
His father has never been found.
And if there was one message you would like to tell Aotearoa to reflect on this matariki, what would that be?
If you still got your nan, you still got your koro, go spend some time with them, you know. Don't know how long you've got with them.
Troy Kingi, te mene, a ka te ake e te iwi kua iri ake, te ke te kōrero, te ke te wānanga, te ke te karakia, te ke te waiata nohoki, a tātou hui ki te pātū o te whare i aia neina. Kia pai ngā mahi whakamānawa, whakanui i te mātahi o te tau hou, arā i te mātahi o te tau Māori e kainamu mai nei. We leave you tonight with a matariki waiata by Towers, Tawaroa Kawana. E whakamānawa ana, i a matariki e. E te iwi e kia mau ki te turanga o tapu a te haumi e, hui e, taiki e.
Mana hoa mai e matariki e. Mana hoa mai e te ariki o te rangi e. Mana hoa mai e te mātahi o te tau. Mana hoa tia matariki e. Matariki e. Matariki e. Mana hoa mai e matariki e. Mana hoa mai e te ariki o te rangi e. Mana hoa mai e te mātahi o te tau. Mana hoa tia matariki e. Matariki e. Matariki e.
Ko te reo, te take.
Nā te puna whakatongarewa, te hui i tautoko.
The best kind of people I want to interview are the ones that have got something really significant to say.
The new season of award-winning current affairs.
It's really about having a conversation and listening.
Te Ao with Moana, ki Māori Plus, me whakaata Māori.
Kia ora, good to be back on air. Big shout out to all the rangatahi on stage at Tauranga last week. Amazing performances. The ihi, the wehi, the wana. Big congrats to Te Kurukapapa Māori o Koutu. Now, speaking of amazing, Dr. Timoti Te Muke is not your average doctor. Far from it. By just about every measure, he should have ended up in prison or worse. Quite simply, there's no other doctor in Aotearoa with a backstory like his. Pōtaka Maipi sat down with Timoti to talk through his remarkable journey.
I'm 8 years old and I'm in my room and I hear his car rolling up into the carport and I'm shaking, bro, because I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna get out of the car, off his face, come into the room, pull me out of bed, just slam the crap out of me, leave me this bloody mess on the floor, go have sex with my mum and go to sleep. And sometimes that would happen to me 3 times a week. So by the time I turn 14, yeah, I'm broken, bro.
Patu tīrana patu wairua mahi tāhai, kei runga I te ara o te kino mai tōna tamarikitanga. And the odds for the rest of his life, impossible.
There are a lot of different points in my life which are really, really dark, yeah? Like I went to Mount Eden prison for the first time at 16.
I aia I te hina ki I whai hua kirikau, hei whakarite tōna ara o taihua.
I'm just finishing up a year. And I've got, I think, about 2 weeks to get out. And I'm sealed up, I'm in this gang now, and I'm sealed up with this other gangster. And he's got some weed and we spark it up and I'm off my face, mate. And I'm looking through this window like this, through these bars, at the most brilliant sky I've ever seen in my life. You know, like I've got a couple of weeks to go and you would think that all I could think about is counting down the minutes till I get out, eh? The people I'm gonna see, the things I'm gonna do, the food I'm gonna eat, all that kind of stuff. Nah, bro. The first thing that pops into my head is, yeah, I'm coming back. And the next time I'm coming back, I'm never leaving. I'm either gonna do, when I get out, I'm gonna do something so heinous that they're never gonna let me out, or I'm coming back, stuff's gonna happen, and I'm gonna end up dead. Either way, the next time I'm coming back, I'm never leaving.
Ko tōna tupu e orite ana ki āna hoa noho taone.
So back in the day, this was my place. This is the place I grew up, 32 Conium Crescent. It looks a lot better than it was. It was, what can I say, it was a violent house.
I tupu tuatahi kei raro I te parirau manaaki o ngōna kuia karaua, hoi kua huanuku ki tōna māma me tana tāne hou, I te whare orite ki te rewera.
They both abused substances to the point of we were pohara as because they spent all their money on alcohol. And my stepfather, he hated me. I started running away from home at an early age, and then I just stopped going to school. And then 13, started hanging out with other kids that were having to. Because don't get me wrong, I grew up in South Auckland, bro. I grew up in a time and in a place where I wasn't the only kid getting bashed, mate. Yeah, a bunch of kids were getting it, and so we just hung out together, man, and we started just living our lives together, and so and we gravitated to stuff like we started sniffing glue, we started sniffing petrol, started doing real small crime, and that's when my initial, I guess, interaction with the law came.
While I'm talking, there will be no talking.
Whai mai ko ngā whare mauhere tamariki.
I went to my first boys' home at 14. I went to Uwairaka. I gotta admit, I enjoyed it, man. Like, the thing was, I got fed 3 meals a day. I got clean clothes. I got to watch movies and have chocolates on the weekends. And I wasn't getting bashed. Looking back on it, yes, it did prepare me for prison. It did put me on the pathway to prison.
Over 7 years, Timoti racked up 40 convictions and spent time behind bars. But for all its hopelessness, prison would ultimately show him there could be a better life. He left for Australia and discovered what was possible.
I started understanding that I had potential and the ability to realize that potential. And so the plan was either go back and study or be happy digging trenches for the rest of my life. No way I'm going to do that, bro. So now I'm studying paramedicine, bro.
Ka eke a Timoti ki te whātekau tau te pakeke, I hoki mai ki Aotearoa ki te kura Amirama. Kei aia ngā pūkenga me ngā whāinga kua whakarite he ara hou, he ara ki te ao marama, engari aua reake.
I'm studying full-time, working part-time in a drug and alcohol rehab, and life's going good, bro. I'm doing my rounds, then I hear the swearing, fuck, and then this glass breaking up. And it's about 2 in the morning. I'm coming down the side of the building, get to the park. I see this hourangi guy stumbling across the street like this. I run up to him and I go, bro, I know what you've done. You need to come back with me. We'll go to the office, go and take care of this. He goes, oh, fuck. And I go, bro, believe me, we both don't want this, man. We both won't want this. Let's go take care of it. He steps in like he's gonna hit me. I bring my hand up, push him back. He falls back, he hits his head, and he hits it hard, bro. Ambulance comes, I go back to the office with the police, I give a statement. The police we've been talking about 15 minutes. Then he gets a phone call, and he puts the phone down, goes, Tim, we have to stop this interview now because the patient's gone status 1. Status 1 means life or death. The detectives come pick me up, they take me down to Auckland Central. I haven't been there in years, bro, in decades, and I'm looking at it going, oh my God. And then we go in, and it's, yeah, man, and they take me in a room, and they got a camera there, and then they leave, and then they come back, and then they do the statement, and then they put me in a jump chute, take my DNA, drop me off home, and I'm back at my place. I'm thinking, far out, man. But I'm still cool because everything's happened the way I said. I go to uni that Monday, I tell them what's happened, I'll be very open with it. I go, this is what's happened. Yeah, it's gonna be taken care of because this is exactly what happened. The guy dies 9 days later, bro.
Ko te toki o te ture ka taka ki runga I aia, ko hoki ia ki te kōti. After the break, redemption and a whole new beginning. E whā te kautau te pakeke, ko te awanga nui ka hoki pēa ia ki te whare here mo te toinga o tōna oranga. Engari ara noa ngā taiapa nui.
So now I'm sitting there, right? I'm 4 months away from my final exam. I've got a manslaughter charge. And I've got to decide whether to plead guilty to something I haven't done and do 3.5 years for something that I didn't do, or go, yes, I didn't do it and fight it with the risk of getting a lot more. I pleaded not guilty, sat the exam, only just passed, man. Went to the hearing, was set down for 8 days, only lasted 2, bro, because there was nothing to answer.
Timothy consistently argued self-defence after being involved in a confrontation on Dominion Road in 2012 while he was on duty at a drug and rehab facility.
Then the judge goes, okay, you can go.
He threw himself back into paramedicine, but after a case where he couldn't revive the patient because he wasn't a qualified doctor, Timothy decided to become one. Even then, he was knocked back not once, not twice, but 4 times before being accepted into Otago Medical School.
And I came in as a postgrad because the thing is I already had I had a health degree. So the thing is I got knocked back the first time, found out what those barriers were, applied again the next time. Got knocked back again, found out what those barriers are, mitigated those barriers, applied again. Got knocked back again, found out what those barriers were, mitigated those barriers, applied again. Wow. And got in. It was tough studying medicine, man. Like I was saying, the amount of information you got was being like force-fed with a fire hydrant. And the thing is that it would just continue. So you get it one day, then you'd get it the next day, and then you get new stuff the day after that. And so I'm doing it really hard, bro. But what makes it even harder is I'm surrounded by high achievers.
I whakapōtaitia I te tau 23 e 56 tōna pakeke.
In order to overcome those setbacks, get through medical school, which is hard even for the brightest of us, and then get to the point where he was applying to come to Auckland and we were having to have a meeting about him, to me, that is extraordinary. And it demonstrated, I didn't know Tim at that point, that a person like that must be resilient and is someone that I'd love to work with. He was given a job in the Auckland region.
I utaina ngā whakamānoa ki rongi aia mai te māngai o te tumu Māori o Murumo.
There were no other people like him of that age working in the country, I believe. Also, he's got an extraordinary story.
Becoming a doctor is the best decision I've ever made, ever. And I absolutely love the job. Overcoming what I've overcome, to be this doctor has created this unprecedented platform for me, that's allowing me to voice and create immense change.
No one's got a backstory like Timoti in health, definitely not amongst doctors. And it's his forensic background I'm talking about, so his history of charges and spending time in jail.
This country has
Karekau he rata pakanga tuatu I aia, ka tuia ki mua I te rōpū whakamana I te tiriti. He alleges that during his childhood, police made up their mind that he was a criminal and not a child in need of support. The same when he was arrested for the manslaughter case, all of it, he says, robbing him of the chance of becoming a doctor 30 years ago.
His life shows the terrible, devastating impact that police bias can have. He ended up as a youth going into prison, was instantly absorbed into a gang. It really shows the reality of police bias and the waste for our country.
So you faced gangs, prison and a false manslaughter accusation.
Dr. Timothy Te Moke.
Kua tuhi tana puka puka, kua puta ki te ao.
When the book came out, there's a lot of fanfare about it. Like I said, it's the only book I know of where a first author, me, has gone #1 in the first week, which is quite an accolade. And the person I beat was she was once the Prime Minister of New Zealand, of Aotearoa, which is like another feat within itself. Bittersweet because I like the person, but it was good to get that accolade.
From a broken kid to prison, from a paramedic to a doctor, from accused of manslaughter to not guilty. Dr. Timoti's ambitions and determination have defined his remarkable story of defying the odds in a system against him. And just when he reached the pinnacle, there's another.
I've resigned as a full-time doctor, and I've just completed my application for what's called a locum. So that's just a casual doctor. And that's because, and I've moved back here to Māori. And that's because I'll be running in this year's election for Māori. I've got this ability to make this immense change. And if I don't utilise it, if I don't utilise this potential, it's a waste. Yeah? It's a waste. So what I've decided to do is run here and for the general election for Māori. The sun has returned home, bro.
Ka panoni tōna ao ka tū hei mema motuhake mō Māngere hei tēnei tau pōti.
Wow, Timoti is nothing if not ambitious. Māngere is solidly Labour, but win or lose, that was an incredible story. After the break, another redemption story guitar hero Riki Harawira makes good. Kia ora no. Riki Harawira was once the go-to guitar man. Everyone wanted him shredding it up in their band. That was until they didn't. And as Kimiora Hikurangi Jackson finds out, it's been a long road back for the guitar man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was the loudest guy in the room scenario, you know.
Yeah, the long hair, the cool hair.
Yeah, and I was just scared, you know, I was full of fear and, you know, I didn't feel like I was good enough, you know. And so I tried to control my external world, you know, by, you know, practicing a lot guitar, you know, my appearance.
But everyone would have thought you were super confident,
Yeah,
right?
super, yeah, super.
But you weren't.
I was just hiding.
Yeah.
Kātahi te haerenga a Riki Harawira ko tēnei. Aho kua ngā piki me ngā heke o te ao rōkena, kei te kaha tonu ia I tōna kāinga.
parents separated when I was 5, and that was my first experience of not being in control of my life, and I lost my sister and my mum. Dad raised me, which was great. I loved my father.
Yes, Dad was, he was a very, you know, a bit of a dapper fella, very, real entertainer, our father. Nor Te Ao Pauri, nor Ngāpuhi ia. Very skilled guitarist and musician, yeah, and a bit of a hard case, bit of a character. Here he is too when he was younger. This is in Killen Street in Whangarei with his brothers and sisters. I was kicked out of home when I was 10 because my stepmother, you know, we clashed, and I ended up in the boys' homes and foster care, and you know, while I was there, I got hurt, you know, and so I came out of there with a chip on the shoulder, and really didn't have the skill to manage it. So that's why I turned to drugs early on. That was sort of the way I managed my moods.
He pukinga a Ricky ki te whakatangi ki tā, nā tēnā I puare ai ngā tātou ki aia. I aru mea nuitia ia e ngā pene me ngā ringa puoro.
Rangitoto College, I was headhunted by Mikey Havoc and the boys to join Push Push, and then later on Dead Flowers was a progression from that. And you know, I sort of started to master my skills and decided that the guitar was my taiaha, my gitaiaha, and it was an instrument of something that gave me mana. You know, I worked hard at it. It set me apart from other individuals. It's something that I really enjoyed. Yeah.
Kua whaia a Dead Flowers e tētahi puni whānoke, ko Ricky te kaiwhakatangi ki tā matua, no muri mai ka whakaputaina ngā pūkaimi e toru, ā kua tū hei kaiwhakataki mo te rōpū Guns N' Roses. Ki tā te kaiwhakatangi taramu kia Rob Dollars, he haerenga whakahirahira te wā ia Dead Flowers.
Being in Dead Flowers was fantastic. It was a really great time to be playing music in this country, and it was a bunch of ego-driven young guys having their egos massaged by crowds. It was great. Before I was in a band with him, I was a punter going to the 5 bands for $5 at the power station, and he was in a band called Whiskey and Lace, and I'm pretty sure every single one of my friends and every single person I knew watched those nights and went, he's by far the best guitarist. Not only there, but just the best guitarist. Like, that band would do cult covers sometimes, and in the 90s, you hear someone play cult covers on guitar and have it sound the way Ricky made it sound. Like, it was impressive, like proper impressive. He was an absolute talent. He was a singular talent. Yeah, it was amazing.
He oi I te kakenga a Dead Flowers ki te taumata o te rongonui ka mahue I tō rātou kaiwhakatangi ki tā matua ia Ricky.
Can we touch on Dead Flowers and just, you know, your exit from the band?
Yeah. Dead Flowers. It's still really painful for me, that. I still reflect on it. Because, you know, my behaviour got out of hand. I started using a lot of drugs, like I was saying before, and those took over, and I just wasn't putting in the work, you know. So, and the Jekyll and Hyde personality was just something that I couldn't. We couldn't sustain it, you know, in a relationship in the band. So, yeah, it was whakamā time for me. Yeah, but I got kicked out of Push Push too because I was smoking weed and you know, drinking beers and getting into fights down Mairangi Bay. It was stellar for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But there again, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I was a damn native for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I just went out on my own and sucked for a long time.
Ahatia I te nuinga o taua wā I pakari tonu a Ricky. Koia nei te āhua e maumahara nei a Rob.
He definitely wasn't too difficult to work with for the majority of the time he was in the band. He became more difficult to work with towards the end. And as I say, I think it's because he started really battling with the stuff he had inside.
Nā te pakanga ki te wāranga ki te mamai me te whakaparahako, ka taka a Ricky ki te hohonutanga o te pauri.
Yeah, I went to rehab when I was 40. My 40th birthday, my kids were getting older, and I was like, oh, I don't want to pass this on to my children. So I knew that I had to change my behaviour because of my children. And I apologise to them all the time, and they're like, Dad, we know you love us, we know. Yeah, I know, but I just, I remember that time when, but my behaviour has changed. I'm not that unpredictable father anymore. When you're using substances, that's okay if you live on Mars, because you're not interacting with other people. You have to look after your own tinane, your own mind. You become short-tempered, you become grumpy, you're hard to read, you shut down. Family starts walking around on eggshells, and this becomes a cycle. And no one has the right to do that, So, yeah. Change is possible.
Kua Hui Te Ao, Ricky, I enei rā ko tana mahi he āwhina I ētahi atu ki te pakanga I ngā taimahatanga I ki te ai ia. Ko tāne ora tēnei ki te uru o tāmaki, ko Ricky te kai arahi I konei.
You guys are high value men now. You've restored your mana, your leaders now. So as if there's something in your life you don't like, you could change it. Remember, as within, so without, yeah.
So I work for Man Life full-time as I'm a family violence practitioner. So I work with men who have issues around harm, mental health, addiction, domestic violence. These guys are really at the end of the line in terms of it's the last ditch effort for them to transition, transform. The men come in really beaten down, whether by their own doing or by the justice system. Because in 2020 I studied AOD, addiction and alcohol and other drugs, with Otago Polytech, Te Takitaki, and it was really grueling because it was level 7s, and I hadn't even got school C. It really made me confront things like not having a really low tolerance frustration because I used drugs to manage my moods for so long. A sense of entitlement, some distorted beliefs and ideas, and I really just had to pull my socks up and take a fearless moral inventory and develop some self-awareness.
Kua tāhuri a Ricky I tōna mamai hei kaupapa whai take. Kua huri koarohia, I tēnei rā, ko te rā whakawhiwhi mo te hunga hou kia whakaoti I tāna hōtaka. Ko te ruku hohonu ki te ao Māori tētahi tino rongoa whakaora ki a Ricky, e whaka ako ana hoki ia I te waiata me te mautaiaha. Kei te whai tonu ia I tōna ngā kaunui.
Let's go! We are blazing, so amazing. All the people in the world will say.
Why should I give up? Why should I give up? I've still got. That's another thing I want to inspire people who are getting older to continue their passion for whatever it is that they enjoy. Because after I left Dead Flowers, it was like, oh shit, I went to the bottom. And I lost sight of the why I actually do it. And why I do it is because I love singing waiata Māori, and it's my nature. It's our father, he was an entertainer, and that's what we grew up with, and that's how we communicate, and that's how I communicate with people.
We grease the and gold. Oh, oh, oh.
Woo! Ngā mihi ki a koe, Ricky. Might see you around the traps. That's us for this week. All the best for Te Matariki Heringa Waka. Pō Marie.
te reo, te take. For more Te Ao of Moana, stream full episodes now on Māori Plus.